We like to call it the Supernatural Hour. And now, our hosts.
Hey, welcome to the Supernatural Hour again. I am your host, Ravyn.
This is Doc. This is Chad.
And this is Jess.
Hey, Jess. Jess is coming to us from Florida.
We're excited to have her.
Very different.
Did the hurricanes ever wallop you? Are you in a little safer place?
Well, it was some crazy rain today, and so I was like, "It's a coming."
No. Yep.
So,
It's getting to be hurricane season. Stay safe if that happens. Okay.
The business is brought to you by Castle Photo Art. We actually went up and had our pictures taken, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, something like that. 3 weeks ago.
And they were some pretty awesome pictures. So go out to Castle Photo Art for your photo needs.
Yeah, he blends out some of your wrinkles. I have fewer wrinkles in my picture than I do in real life.
He just smooths you over just a little bit.
Smooths me out. Yeah, it's like a filter. It's like, wow, look at me.
Smooth as a baby's bottom. So just a few statistics. Our YouTube, we're up to 195 subscribers.
Thank you. If you're listening, you're amazing. We love you.
And we just hit over 5,000 views. So we're pretty excited about that. On our TikTok, we got 2,108 followers. And we're there. We're really, really excited today. We have a new patron. Her initials are EC.
Yeah. We don't have her super secret name yet.
We don't have her super secret name, or if she wants to go by her real name. So we'll find out from her, but we wanted to let her know that we appreciate her.
And you know who you are. We love you. Thank you.
Yep. Along that, we're also going to kind of highlight a patron of the episode as we go forward for our other patrons. Like I say, we have 9 patrons, so we're really excited. The patron we're going to highlight would be our other newest patron, and that's Sherry College. She's a realtor here in Utah. If you go out to the Advanced Paranormal page, the link to her real estate information is there on the first page. So go out and support her as she supports us. We really appreciate it. The money that we use, or we get from our insiders and our Patreons, goes for our web hosting, SSL certificates, equipment, audio, video.
Our barbecue.
Our upcoming barbecue that we're doing. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so if you are one of our Patreons, you are going to be getting information about our Patreon barbecue. It's amazing. If you are a Patreon, you get to come. You get to bring some guests with you. And we have great food and a great investigation in little smaller groups because it's our Patreons, but you got to come. It's
and we're planning that
fantastic.
August
27th.
August 27th. So, yeah,
And
jump out onto Patreon
you know
and
what?
join them.
You said we had 9 Patreons.
Mm-hmm.
I think for number 10, we should do something really cool. Give them, like, I don't know what. This just idea just
Give
popped
away
into my
$10.
head. But give away something really cool. 10. I mean, 10, 2 handfuls.
Okay.
So if you're our 10th Patreon, I don't know what it is yet, but it's going to be amazingly awesome. Also, if you didn't know, if you're listening to this for the first time or haven't checked out our Patreons, Patrons get bonus episodes. These aren't the only podcasts out there. They're special Patreon-only ones.
And boy, are they special.
They're fantastic.
And I'm putting special in quotation marks. They're a lot of fun. You can tell how formal we are here. They're even less formal for our patron-only Insiders episodes. Let's talk a little bit about some of the investigations that we've got going.
So we recently went to one in Payson. And I posted this. We have a Facebook page just for our team, to organize, who's coming and who's going and what events we've got coming up. I posted this one. I'm like, hey, investigation in Payson on this date and this time. Who can come? I put up a poll to see who can come. And one of the gals goes, what's with Payson? I don't know what's with Payson, but it's like super haunted. So we went down there. It's actually a home we've been to before. Doing this kind of work, there's different kinds of people. There are people that, their house is doing weird things and they have us come out and check it out. There are people who I think are lonely and just want friends, and they call us out every week. And then there are people that just are sensitive, just notice things that pop around, and we'll go clear it out. And several months later, they'll call us again. So this was one of those gals. We've worked with her. We've been there, probably 3 or 4 times now?
Yeah.
And she's fantastic. We love her. She's one of our favorites. And she's sensitive, and things follow her. and
Her dogs were noticing it too, right?
Yeah, this is something that her dogs were noticing, and she was having, sounds. And she described some of the sounds for us. Some of the sounds were, she would go and reenact it. She would go over to this table, and she said it sounded just like this happened, and she would move something on a table just around the corner. But through the investigation, we took Skylar and Vivian with us. Who else was there?
You and me and...
Skylar and Vivian. I thought there was one more.
It was Ethan.
Oh, that's right. He drove in our car with us all the way down there. Yeah, we're losers. Sorry, Ethan. We love you. Through the course of the investigation, we determined that it was a type 3 that had followed her home. And he was pretty nasty. I was standing back in the corner, and Ethan's talent, he can see these spirits. I kept feeling like I had hands around my neck, and then I felt like something was pulling on my arm. And then, what else did I feel? Oh, and then it felt like something was biting my hand. And so I kept, through not only Charles and the dowsing rods, but also Ethan, who could physically see the spirit, I kept saying, is something biting me? He's like, yeah. Something choking me? Yeah. Is something... is something grabbing my arm? And so I was like, ah. And then Skylar and Vivian were getting they were able to capture him on the SLS. There's Ravyn. There's
something else.
Something else that's there. And it's not, trying to triangulate on, it was in like an exercise room, and there was nothing behind me. I mean, there was me and a wall. And so it wasn't like, oh no, that's not a spirit. That's really, the treadmill or something like that. It was a spirit. They said it was a little bit lower, a little bit smaller. So we were able to get it out of the house, and she's happy. So
great. Yeah, we had a really good public investigation Saturday night out at the Mercur Cemetery in Tooele County, and we had a number of our regular patrons out there that come to a lot of these things, and some new people, and it was a really good investigation. We had our little safety procedure briefing and talked about it, and then we went out and investigated. Ravyn, what were some of the highlights? There were a couple of new things there, like that circle and crown.
Yeah, we went out there, and there was this... If you've ever been to Mercur or never been to Mercur, it's an old mining cemetery. There's about 100, 120 people buried there. And I guess at one time, we actually met a researcher out there a couple times ago when we were there. And they said at one time, all of the graves had those little fences around them. But now there's probably only fences around, maybe 15 or 20? Mm-hmm. But there's circles of stones, and you can just kind of wander and find these circles of stones all over the place. Well, someone had taken these stones, and they'd made a star and a crown. And we had done some research up there. And apparently the star and the crown are actually protective symbols, symbols of protection. We determined through dowsing rods and the K2 meters, yes, no questions, that there were 7 type 3s there, and we have never encountered type 3s there before. And the interesting thing is this star had 7 rays on the star. And then it had like a little cairn in the middle of it, and it had obsidian in each little
pocket.
And I mean, there's things there that you thought, whoever did this knew what they were doing.
There was some intent behind that.
It wasn't
there was
just,
intent.
Yeah.
Well, and somebody used like a whole 6-pack of Corona beers there too. Unopened ones.
Right. I mean, and there was bullet casings.
Were they so drunk they forgot it? Or was that a gesture to the spirits?
I mean, we've been there several times before, and it's out in the boonies, and it's a place where, for example, there's a gigantic rock, probably weighs 15,000 pounds. It's huge.
I mean, it's the one that they put, the plaque on that says this is the Mercur Cemetery.
And we went
out. It
out.
ain't going anywhere.
Well.
Or is it?
You would think.
You would think. We got out there, and somebody had tipped it over.
Rock?
And you can't just go out there and just tip it over. You have to intentionally want to tip that over.
This had to be done with,
you had to do it with a tractor.
Like a tractor or a truck, or someone got a hydraulic jack out, or
it makes you wonder why. Why would you care to do something like that?
Yeah, but it was kind of nuts.
Yeah. Anyway, but we go out there a lot, and you can tell that there's always stuff out there from kids that just go out there to have a good time. I mean, You know,
not
they get
unusual to see beer bottles and cans.
a lot
and-
of beer bottles, a lot of cans. You know,
Hang
places
out with
where
some
they've
ghosts,
built
sure.
fires. You know, I'm sure they've had a little camp out. And people go tarantula hunting out there. In fact, I got out there. There's no bathroom within 6 miles of this place at least, maybe more. And you know, I get out there and it's like I got a potty, so I just go trotting off into the juniper trees. You know, it's like I got to get far enough away that someone's not gonna, you know, turn a corner and go, oh hey, look, Raven butt. So I'm walking and I'm like, okay. And I have never seen a rattlesnake there, but it is rattlesnake country, and other people in our group have been there at times where they've seen rattlesnakes. So I'm watching for rattlesnakes, right? Because I don't want to step on one and get bit. Yeah, I turn a corner, and I'm thinking, okay, there's my bush, there's my little privacy bush, and there's a tarantula walking straight towards me. I had a moment. I still don't think I've quite recovered from that moment. Pretty sure it tried to kill me. I almost died.
I'm certain of it.
I never peed so fast in my life. And then I was terrified because it's like, where'd it go? Because now maybe I'm stuck here forever because I don't know where that tarantula is. But so anyway, but people go tarantula hunting out there because there's a lot of them. I've only seen one.
Yeah, we actually, another time we were out there, ran into a couple of guys that's what they were out there for. You know, it's like,
Just
what you
catching
doing out here?
spiders.
And we said, oh, we're ghost hunting. They said, oh, we're tarantula hunting.
They're like, there's ghosts. And I'm like, there's tarantulas. Anyway, lost my train of thought. Oh, but the point is there's a lot of activity out there, but I've never seen anything like these little things. But over the course of the investigating, apparently something was contained in one of those, and it was more protection than anything. But there was those type 3s out there, 7 of them, and they weren't pretty. One of our investigators had to go home because it made her get a really bad stomach ache, and actually her husband came with her, and at some point her husband's like, nope, you're done, we're going home. You have had enough fun today. And then they tend to attack Skylar. He's getting better with that. Not that he was bad at it, but I mean, just it happens so often. He's figuring out what to do and how to counteract it. But
Just bring me with you, and
they
nothing will
were
happen, don't
bugging
worry.
him a little bit. But the other spirits that are there that are usually pretty chatty, they were congregating around us. At one point, we're like, how many spirits are around us? It was 15. But hardly any of them were saying a word. We don't know if they were like, help us, or if, I don't know. It was, the normal spirits were very, very quiet that night. And the
Darker spirits?
The darker spirits were pretty active.
Front and center.
But it was a good investigation. It was cold, though. It was chilly. I'm glad I had a jacket.
Raven is thinking chilly is 68 degrees, so...
Yeah, I
I
figure summers
have-
in Utah in the desert, it's got to be bone-chillingly cold.
It was, it rained that day.
It did. It was chilly. I was wearing a jacket.
Thank
I mean, a windbreaker, but it was a little chilly. I don't know that I would define it as cold.
It was cold. If you're a girl, it was cold.
Okay, well, that was a great investigation. We're trying to work on a September investigation and working out our October investigation, so stay tuned. We'll get some more information on that. Check our advancedparanormal.com site for any upcoming events that we get up there in between.
Halloween's coming up.
Yeah.
I try to watch a scary movie every night during Halloween season, so well, maybe I'll throw
Have
that
you ever
in
watched The
there.
Halloween Tree? I'm going to go off on a tangent.
Sure have.
Halloween Tree, it's a cartoon. It's narrated by, isn't it Leonard Nimoy that narrates it?
I think so. It's a Ray Bradbury story, right?
It's a Ray Bradbury story, but I think Leonard
I think you're
Nimoy,
right. Leonard Nimoy.
Leonard Nimoy narrates it. If you haven't seen it, find it. It's fantastic. I mean, it's a cartoon.
Like,
It's a kid show.
is it like a Christmas tree but with pumpkins on it, or the Halloween tree?
Pretty much. No,
It's
Bat ornaments.
it's kind of like
it's a tree with like jack-o'-lanterns. and
it's
stuff
kind of
in it.
like the Charles Dickens of Halloween.
That's true.
Interesting.
It's kind
I
of
never heard of it ever.
kind of ghosts of Halloween past kind of a deal with mummies and stuff. It's
There are no Dybbuk's in the Halloween tree.
Maybe there's a box.
Maybe, I don't know.
if you've never listened to us before or you haven't heard this before from us, we have our own classification of spirits. Maybe because Raven can be really blunt and may have scared a cute little lady once. But we've
You
got...
got a demon in your house.
Well, she asked, what have I got? You got a demon. If you don't want to know the answer, don't ask the question, because I'll just tell you.
we're gonna convey this in a slightly gentler manner.
Yeah.
We'll give you we'll give you the honest scoop, but we'll
ease you into it now. Don't ask Ravyn questions. She'll just tell you. I'm getting better. So, type 3 is a demon. A type 1 is just grandma who's passed and wants to hang out in the kitchen and make sure you don't give out her secret recipe and clings the pots and pans when you threaten to.
wants a little bit of attention.
And then there's type 2s. There's a type 2A and a type 2B. Type 2A is just you're a jerk when you're alive, you're still a jerk when you're dead, and you're just kicking around doing jerky things.
Which could be that kind of dippic that you're just talking about of a person that is malevolent,
Right.
just on their own and trying to impact and influence other people.
Yeah. And then the type 2B is a type 1 that's being coerced by a type 3. They've threatened them, and because the type 3s, the demons, they usually make other spirits do their dirty work.
They like to have minions. They like to have others do their stuff. So, and that is an Advanced Paranormal / WISPS kind of classification. and it came about because Ravyn scared this poor little lady.
We fixed it, and she calls me just to chat now. Sometimes I'll have you know.
Yeah.
So
We love
you
her.
reconciled.
Her name's Margaret. We love her. Margaret, if you're listening.
Oh,
we
what a
love you.
little old lady name.
I know.
Margaret.
She's adorable. I haven't heard from her for a while though. Hope she's okay.
So, just, you may not have heard this. The first time we went there, she was quite sickly, wasn't she?
Yeah, I mean to the point where I'm like, you need to sit down.
She's got to be mid-70s.
Probably mid to late 70s.
Maybe a little younger than that, but she looked really, really frail and unhealthy.
Yeah, I mean she had she was wearing oxygen. She could barely walk. Just not doing well.
And we were called out about a year later because her dogs were
I don't even think it was a year later.
6 months later.
Yeah.
Her animals were having some interesting things, and we went there, and boy, she was feisty. She was so much better, wasn't she?
Oh yeah. In fact, we had to do another cleansing in her house, and I said, okay, when we do this cleansing, don't ask for these spirits to leave. You need to demand that they leave.
Tell them to leave.
Tell them, there's no script. Just say you're not welcome here. Get out. However that looks to you. Oh my gosh, I about ran out of the house. I had to step into the other room, and there's no way she would have done that.
Yeah,
First
she was very forceful. I mean, her health in that 6 months from our first investigation there to when they called us back out because they were starting to get some more things, there was a marked visible improvement in her health. Whether that was because of the cleansing and not having that, whether it was placebo in her own mind on what was going on, and they did it. But there was truly a remarkable, visible difference in her health in that period of time.
Interesting. Oh, here's a plug. Already starting to work on the haunted house.
Indian Hills Horror.
Yeah.
Provo, Utah, 2022.
Yeah, I got that Facebook Messenger notification, and yeah, they're building columns right now.
So how many people went through it last year? Do you remember?
I don't know. I think the highest number we've had in a season is about 2,500.
In like 3 nights, 2 nights, 3 nights,
3 nights, 4 nights, but pretty good throughput. But yeah, I just
for a backyard haunt.
Yeah,
a free backyard haunt.
When I got DJs and food trucks calling and asking if they can set up across the street, kind of crazy. I have to tell them this is a residential area. We're not a business. I don't know the laws, so
check with
probably no, but I don't know.
Ice cream trucks can go through there, I guess.
There you go. Maybe that's what we need to do this next year. Ice cream truck.
I'm excited because I'm about to go do VIP tours through some haunted houses, so I get to walk through them over and over again.
Oh, nice.
Good times.
Nice.
So you are going to be providing the tours, doing the tours?
Yes, it is at a place that I will not name, but I will be a tour guide where you take, guests who pay to go through all the haunted houses, and I don't get scared eventually because I go through them a lot, but I get entertained. So I'm all about it.
Halloween is our favorite time of the year.
I don't get scared at haunted houses. I'll get startled. You know, like the jump scares. You know, you're not expecting
Yeah,
things
when you
to
don't
jump
know,
out.
yeah.
But I think haunted houses are fantastic. All of them.
We're actually on our way to the Winchester Mystery House here pretty quickly.
That'll be fun.
Man.
And there's tickets for a tour.
Okay, let me tell the story.
'Kay.
Because I tell it better. Okay,
Well, yes, so you do.
I'm buying the tickets, right? And because you have to buy them in advance for a certain time. And so it's like, hey, you know, tour the mansion. I was like, okay. So I get my tickets. And then it says, ooh, for $23 more, you can add on the haunted tour. And so I'm thinking, well, before I add on the haunted tour, because that's a good price, I just want to make sure it's not the same tour twice. I don't want to pay for the same tour twice. And so I'm looking at it, and it's like, you know, this and that and this, and you can participate in a seance. I'm like, don't want to participate in a seance. So, because that, to me, that's conjuring, and that's going in a direction I don't want to go. So we're just doing the regular.
The regular spooky house tour.
Yeah, but
You
it
can
says
bring like your recorder or something and do your own haunted spooky tour.
yeah, we'll sneak in a K2 meter or something.
There
But I
you
mean,
go.
I think they said there's 120 rooms or 160 rooms.
It's a huge...
And the tour takes you through like 110 of them. I mean, you're going to see most of the
Wow.
rooms on the tour.
Yeah, and there is a dedicated seance room. I've been there before. It's been literally probably 30 years now, but very, very neat mansion with stories behind it and the idea of the paranormal and things. So
Emmett was unable to be here tonight, but Jess is going to talk to us about a stone.
Yes. So I have these like little, I guess, oracle cards are called, and so I can like pull a card and we'll see what we get and see what it represents or something. So, Azurite. It's like this beautiful blue-green kind of drops of ocean with algae look to it. And let me see what it says. There we go. So apparently it goes with self-confidence, creativity, and expanding awareness, which is what we're doing now, right? Believe in yourself. You have the ability to materialize your dreams. Throughout the coming months, you will begin to expand your horizons and explore new possibilities for your life. You will realize that all you need to manifest your dreams is self-confidence. Believe in yourself and do not let anything stand in your way. So, yeah, maybe one of us needs that. I feel like maybe that's calling me out. So I probably need more confidence. So, yeah, if you feel like you need a little bit of that, you can get one and you can wear it.
cool. We'll throw a picture up on the YouTube version of the podcast so you can see a picture of it.
Yep.
So, Ravyn, do we have some things for the Paranormal Junk Drawer?
We did. So I was like, what have we not done for a junk drawer recently? And I was kind of looking around, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to hop on to eBay and just see what kind of weird crap is offered out there. So if you look up haunted stuff on eBay, first of all, don't buy haunted stuff on eBay. Because if it is haunted, you're going to hate your life.
You're such a buzzkill
I know.
sometime.
And when I'm looking on there, I don't know how much of this stuff is actually haunted. Just because it looks creepy doesn't mean it's haunted. Just because a witch owned it one time doesn't mean it's haunted. So just don't. But here's some of the offerings that I found on the junk drawer. Okay. There's a haunted Elmo. There's about
When I think haunted, I think Elmo.
okay.
I think Furby.
There's about 1,000 Dybbuk boxes. You know, some of them I'm sure are just someone melted wax on it. But one of them is $66.66, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, that wasn't a marketing ploy at all.
You can get a sex goddess servant for $232.10.
That is a screaming deal right there.
Right.
Wow.
So there was 2 haunted frogs that I saw, and I kind of stopped at page 36. I
A
stopped.
haunted
scrolling.
frog?
2 of them.
Like a
Like a
living frog?
Like a stuffed frog. There's a haunted koala bear, a stuffed one. A haunted hairdresser dummy, you know, just the heads with the hair that you can practice doing hairdos on. There's a haunted rock from a cemetery. There was a little figurine named Bonnie, the helpful lesbian handyman. It was haunted.
What? A haunted lesbian handyman?
Bonnie, the helpful lesbian handyman doll.
It's
haunted.
a doll?
It's haunted. A doorknob from a haunted house. The cemetery graveyard dirt that was haunted, which you could use for voodoo.
You can just get that from a graveyard if you really feel so
But
inclined.
you can buy it on eBay too if you want. A Betty Boop doll.
This stuff's making my eBay searches seem super mild.
Right. So there was like 3 or 4 Raggedy Ann dolls that are apparently haunted. I think they're just kind of banking off of the Annabelle. It's a Halloween shamrock Ouija board. Oh, this was one of my favorites. There was a demonic possession class 6 with free shipping that you could buy for $386.83, which I thought was quite a specific number, but I wondered if that has something to do with the whole process. There was an antique slave doll, which honestly looked like the only thing that might actually be haunted in everything I looked at. There's an old-fashioned horn. You know, the horn's like squeaky, squeaky in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
The little rubber ball on the
bicycle
end.
horn,
Yeah.
like a little bike horn thing. Uh-huh.
There was 4 fetal mummified skeletons, which after the first one, it was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But then I got to the 4th one, I was like, maybe not. There's a Bohemian talisman, which looked an awful lot like a My Pretty Pony. There were some cool genie lamps. There was a hatchet. There was Maurice, the stuffed reindeer.
Haunted Maurice, the stuffed reindeer.
Yes. There was a Bezoar ring. Now, are Bezoars real?
Bezoars are things.
Are they a real thing?
Yeah, Bezoar is just
What is
basically when a Bezoar
It's
is when
from
you have
Harry Potter.
undigested material in the stomach. Actually, is what a Bezoar
It's
is.
a Harry Potter thing.
So, like a hairball that a cat coughs up. That's a
That's a
Bezoar.
Bezoar.
Mm-hmm. And some
Okay, I
people,
can sell that then.
yeah, you can start selling hairballs.
I'm gonna
You
get
mean-
a stick from the yard and I'm gonna sell it and say it has the spirit of a dog attached to it.
So sometimes humans will, people that have compulsions to eat things that are not digestible, they'll eat a bunch of it. It'll get stuck in their stomach. It can't pass through, and then it has to be surgically removed, or they have to endoscopically remove it. Those are Bezoars.
Okay. Because I was like, I think that's a Harry Potter thing. But there's a ring if you want to buy one.
Made out of a Bezoar?
Yeah, there was a Mickey Mouse.
Ugh.
Oh, whoops. There was a mystery box. Who knows what's in it, but apparently it's haunted. $35 you can find out.
Mystery haunted.
There was a haunted Mickey Mouse keyboard, which looked like a little toy keyboards for like a 4-year-old. There was a belt buckle that had it looked like a very Midwestern blue collar belt buckle with like a tractor on it. It has Angry John, the spirit, attached to the belt buckle.
John Deere's pissed.
John Deere, yeah.
There was an Ozzy Osbourne Ouija board. Oh, this was a good one. Delphine Ancient White Magic Penis Potion for $19.99.
All right. What is it supposed
Is
to
the price
do?
$19.99.
$69?
No, it was $19.99.
That would have been very expensive penis potion.
Yeah, not sure what. I'm assuming it's to enlarge. I didn't really do a whole lot of research on most of these. And then there was a bank check from
Should have been black magic.
1864.
That's all I'm saying.
Maybe
A bank
it's
check?
White magic. Yeah, it was like an actual check. A check from 1864. It was $50. Apparently, it's haunted. Apparently, the guy that owned it committed suicide. Therefore, it's just automatically
gosh.
haunted.
All right.
Wow.
So-
Basically, you can make anything haunted and do it like a garage sale.
Pretty
is
much,
what
but
I would
there's
say.
all this haunted stuff on eBay, but a lot of it was like $8, $7. I think most of the haunted stuff, I'm going to use my air quotes, haunted stuff on eBay probably is not. But don't go buy something and say Raven said it's not haunted, because you never know.
Post like haunted pot and pan set.
And
Haunted Ninja Turtle.
there's a lot of jewelry, a lot of dolls, a lot of Dybbuk boxes. Do not buy any of this crap from eBay, please. If you
Either you get a spirit or you waste your money. Or both.
If you do, you either wasted your money or you're going to get haunted, and it's not our fault because we've warned you about 50 times.
And neither one of those outcomes is very stellar. Wasting your money or getting haunted.
You have piqued the interest, though. Go find what other weird haunted items we've got on the online auction sites.
So the Paranormal Junk Drawer is brought to you by the Hub Theater in American Fork. Join our friends at the Hub Theater. They have special shows on all the time. It's kind of a family theater. They don't do like a lot of movies, but they do a lot of entertainment kind of things, hypnotist shows and things like that. And we'll be going back there for a paranormal investigation pretty quickly.
Awesome. And while we're winding down, make sure you check out our shop at advancedparanormal.com. We've got all sorts of cool knickknacks. Kids are getting ready for school. Why not send them home with some advanced paranormal swag, right?
They've got notebooks. I
Notebooks.
still haven't bought one. But I do want to give out a little shout out right now, if I can, to Radio Ronin. We have our podcast under their family of podcasts.
We're affiliates.
I actually bought a Radio Ronin shirt.
Heyo.
So
They gave a nice shout out to us for Silent Dawn's birthday.
they did.
Appreciate
In a
that.
previous life, I was known as Silent Dawn when we used to have 7 hosts.
Back when you didn't talk.
Yeah.
Back when he didn't need to.
But
So-
yeah, they gave us a shout
Back
out.
when he couldn't get a word in edgewise. That's probably more like it.
Probably. But we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Radio Ronin.
Hey, stay spooky, my haunty friends.
Have a good one.
Hey, good night.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Supernatural Hour at AdvancedParanormal.com. The Supernatural Hour is part of the Radio Ronin network found at RadioRonin.com. Copyright by Advanced Paranormal Services.